Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, Reading Ideas. I've just finished book 3 of the Musashi series. 150 years of strife have left Japan a war-torn wasteland. Out of the ashes a new hero is born, destined to be the greatest swordsman of all time. They're giving away the plot. Musashi. As a new era dawns on Japan, one man has single-handedly challenged the old way. In a moment of swift and silent violence, Miyamoto Musashi spilled the best blood of the powerful house of Yoshikawa. Now the Yoshiokas are fighting for their very future, but while another woman longs for his touch, Musashi becomes the guest of Japan's most beautiful and famous courtesan and the friend of Kyoto's leading nobleman. A whole city awaits the Yoshioka's revenge, and 100 warriors arm themselves with swords, arrows and guns. Musashi must face his most difficult contest in a battle that will change his life forever. Published in 5 volumes, Musashi is the monumental adventure story of a wandering swordsman who rises to greatness. It enables the reader to understand the Japanese heroic tradition. It has sold over 120 million copies in Japan alone. I think there's a thicker book that's got the whole series in, but this is in novel book form. What's it like? I'm really enjoying it. It's quite long. I've read 3 of the 5, and it really is quite an epic. It's a little bit like a cowboy book, but a Louis L'Amour, a little bit like that, but obviously longer and obviously based in Japan, and it's got swords and not rifles. And it's kind of got a bit of an old-fashioned and a Japanese morality. So the morality is different to modern times and to Western culture. Obviously, there's parallels in there. So, you get a tour of Japan, the shrines, the daimyos, a little bit of the courtesans, and a little bit of the structure of society, the older ladies that are the kind of the boss of their sons, and people not wanting to upset their ancestors and their elders, feeling shame that they're not quite good enough, and their ambitions. So, and you get a little bit of, there's a monk, there's, like I say, something like the daimyos and the lords. So you do get a bit of the background. Most of it is following Musashi around. You will get fight scenes which are pretty good, not all the way through. There's lots of people's feelings, and he's wanting to be a great swordsman, and there's people after him, and you get to hear their kind of reasoning. There's heroic characters like Musashi and his potential girlfriend, and he has a bit of an assistant. He's trying to train him up, a young lad, Jotaro, and he is a little bit wild, so he provides a bit of kind of wildness while the good characters kind of go about the way. He's got an old friend from his village, and his mother out to try and get him, following him around. So they provide the the Black Knights to kind of he's not exactly a white knight Musashi because he's going around challenging people for duels, but he has he's trying to follow the way, whatever that is. It's kind of like, I just want to be a really good fighter. And so, but in this book, the third book, the girl who's been following him around for a couple of books, saying she loves him and wants to be with him, and he's kind of like, he's not sure about that because he's chaste and he's trying to just live by the sword, not by. You don't want to get involved with the girls, do you? Not when you're trying to be a swordsman. So in the third book, round about the middle of the book, they have a meeting and they kind of come to more of an understanding of each other, and then immediately misunderstand each other, and then that provides the drama to go on to the next two books. So the book ends on, an unresolved issue, should I say, or I don't want to give away too much. So it's in the saga, it's the middle book. So whether it's the central idea of the book, what he's trying to create, how he's trying to live his life, what he's trying to achieve. So he's just basically trying to be the greatest swordsman of all time. To do that, he has to challenge people, and obviously to win. And he comes across characters along the way, and some of those characters are nice, and some of them are not so nice. So the closest thing is it's kind of a cross between James Clavell's Shogun and the way the samurai Hagakure. So there's a bit of that, and kind of a Louis L'Amour or a thriller type book. So it's a really good read. I'd recommend reading it. If you're only into classics, or you're only into horror, or you're only into romance, then it might not be for you. But if you like any of those things that I've mentioned, thrillers, Japan, different cultures, Western books, then I think it could be worth a go. You could pick up the bigger book, which will probably look a bit daunting if you can get 5 of these. You might want to pick up the first one and see what you think. But I recommend to you reading Musashi. Bye for now, everybody.